news conference with Wake Forest head coach Tom Walter. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions. Coach?
Thank you. Would just like to congratulate Tennessee on a game well played and advancing to the next round of the Super Regional. What an incredible venue they have here and a great fan base, and it's been a pleasure playing here the last 4 days. Really proud of our guys and the way we battled. Hate that it's over for our seniors and the guys will lose to the draft, but proud of the way we competed, and two great baseball teams gave it all today, and we came up on the short end.
Questions? Start with Les.
The 7-run ending, give me your thoughts on keeping Marston in that line and what was going through your mind and what eventually led to pulling the plug there.
Yeah, I thought he was a good matchup for Marin. We had 2 outs and the 9-hole hitter up, and I thought Marston was the right matchup there. Probably should have had Areola ready for Keelan and Fisher coming in behind him. But again, there's 2 outs and it's a 3-2 game. If we get off the field right there, but give credit to Marin. He put a good swing on the ball and got it out of the ballpark.
Second row.
Coach, overall, Tennessee was able to strike your hitters out 16 times. What were they providing that was, difficult to come up against?
Well, and I think we struck out even more than that yesterday. Obviously Tennessee's got power arms, and the guys we saw today and yesterday as well are guys that strike out a ton of hitters. So we certainly needed to do a better job putting more balls in play, but certainly easier said than done against those type of arms. They've got a power pitching staff.
Staying on the second row.
Following up on that, obviously Liam Doyle coming in was a big story of the game. Was that something you guys expected? And if it was, what kind of preparation goes into going against a guy like that?
Yeah, we did expect it. We figured if they had the lead, they'd go to him, and we knew we'd have our hands full. Certainly, coming back off of that guy in a short stint is not easy. And you just try to get on time for his fastball, but when he's commanding it like he did tonight at the top of the zone, it's darn near unhittable up there. So, again, our guys battled, but they were just a little better than us tonight.
Thank you. Les.
Tom, it seemed like early in the game, especially free 90s were a big issue for your team. Tennessee scored their first 2 runs without even hitting a base hit out of the infield. What was the problem there, and where do you go with that, I guess, in the next season in terms of getting those more under control?
Yeah, I mean, Griffin and Slim, have not been great strike throwers recently, and so we knew that was an issue. That the infield hit hurt us as much as Slim made a really good 3-2 pitch, and we just got a little unfortunate there. If we get an out there, that changes that inning. But again, when you give Tennessee an offense like that, free 90s, they're going to make you pay for that. And they're really talented 1 through 9 in the order, and dangerous. So again, we knew coming into it, if we gave them free 90s, we'd be in trouble.
I guess I'll kind of wrap up with this. I know the season's been ongoing. You've been getting ready for the regionals. How many conversations have you had already with some of your key players about returning next season? We've talked a couple times earlier this weekend about all the young talent that's in the program. Have you already had conversations about retaining that young talent? And if not, when does that start?
We've certainly always have ongoing conversations about that stuff, but nothing official. I mean, we'll have exit meetings when we get back to campus. We'll probably leave tomorrow morning at 10, 11 a.m. and get back sometime mid to late afternoon, and probably have some exit meetings tomorrow night, and then certainly all day all day on Wednesday as well. So in the next 48 hours we'll have a good feel for what our returning roster is going to look like.
Thank you, Coach.